Okay, it's time to practice what you just learned. You should have already watched your lesson 5 notes for today. And now we're going to do some either whiteboard or scrap paper or in your spiral, some practice. I want you to write these things down. I'm not going to collect it, so you don't have to worry about being all neat and perfect. You just need to worry about solving these problems out. So basically for each one, I'll show you the problem, you'll pause me, you'll work out the problem, press play, and then see if you got it correct. If you end up with a lot of questions, jot those questions down and bring them to class with you, or you can click on the little envelope in Schoology and send them to me. All right, the first thing we learn how to do is to write values in expanded place value form. We put some decimals in there this time. So expanded place value forms means you write the digit and you're multiplying it by the value of the place that it is in. So the first one I want you to do is right here, 97 6/100. I want you to write that in expanded place value form. So you press pause, do that, and press play when you're ready. Okay, I'm gonna start with this 9. So I would write the digit 9. I'm gonna multiply it by the place that it is in. This is 2 places to the left of the decimal point, which is the tens place. Plus, okay, I see a 7. I'm gonna write down that 7 times 7 is in the ones place. Plus, okay, hopefully you noticed there's a 0 right here. We don't need to include 0 in place value form because 0 times 1/10 is 0. So I'm gonna hop over to this 6. 6 times. This 6 is 2 places to the right of the decimal point. That is the hundredths place. So you are going to write times 1 over 100. Be sure to include those parentheses. All right, erase. Next, 1,310 3/10. I'd like for you to go ahead and write that in expanded place value form. Press play when you are ready. Okay, here we go. I have this 1. I'm going to multiply it by 1,000 because this 1 is in the thousands place. Plus, here's the 3. I'm going to multiply this 3 by 100 because it is in the hundreds place. Next, I see a 1 right here. I'm going to multiply this 1 by, this 1 is in the tens place. Plus, okay, there's a 0 in the ones place. I don't need to write 0 times 1 because 0 times 1 is 0. So I skip that 0 when I'm writing an expanded form, and now I have a 3. I would multiply 3 by the place that it is in, and this is the first place to the right of the decimal point, which is the tenths place. So I'm going to take 3 times 1/10. Right, next one, 405 13 thousandths. Go ahead and write that in expanded form, expanded place value form, please. And press play when you're ready. Here we go. 4 times, this 4 is 3 places to the left of the decimal point. That is the hundreds place. Plus, I see a 0 here. I don't have to do anything with that because 0 times 10 is 0. Now here's my 5. 5 times, this 5 is in the ones place, so 5 times 1. Plus, there is a 0 here. I do not need to say 0 times 1/10 because 0 times 1/10 is 0. So I'm going to go next door here to this 1. This 1 is in the hundredths place, 2 places to the right of the decimal point. So I'm going to multiply 1 by 100th. Plus, I still have a 3 here. This 3 I would multiply by, it's 3 places to the right of the decimal point, which is the thousandths place. So I would take 3 times 1/1000th, include your parentheses. All right, one more of these. 342 thousandths. Go ahead and write that in expanded place value form for me, please. Press play when you are ready. Okay, here's a 0 in the ones place. I do not need to say 0 times 1, so I won't. Start with this 3. I'm going to write the digit 3 and multiply it by the place that it is in. It is in the tenths place. So I would take 3 times 1/10. Plus, all right, next I see a 4. So I'm going to write my digit 4 and I'm going to multiply that by 100th because it's in the hundredths place. Plus, there's still one more digit right here. It's a 2. So I'm going to write down that digit and multiply it by 1 over 1,000 because this 2 is in the thousandths place. All right, so hopefully we have our expanded place value form down pat. If you're still using your toolkit to help you know what place it's in, that's fine. That's what they're for. All right, so we can erase what you have. Next on our list, I am going to give you the expanded place value form, and I want you to write the number that is represented by that in standard form, so the regular old number. So I'm going to show you the words, and I want you to write the number. So as soon as I put the words up, you're going to press pause. You're going to use your whiteboard or scrap paper to write down the number and press play when you're ready. Okay, here it is. Remember these, it's easier to start from the lowest place and work your way from right to left. Okay, so I'm going to start all the way over here with 9 times 1/10. That means that I need a 9 to be in the tenths place. And that's it. Okay. Now, as I head over, I'm looking for the ones place, and I see a 4 times 1 right here. That means I need a 4 in the ones place. Next over from the ones place would be the tens place, and I see I'm multiplying 2 by 10, so there would be a 2 in the tens place. Next over from the 10 would be 100, and I don't see anything multiplied by 100, so I'm going to need to put a 0 there. And next place over from 100 would be the thousands, and I do see 4 times 1,000, so 4 would go right there. So you should have 4,024 and 9/10. See, we're practicing saying it too. All right, here's your next one. Press pause, press play. Okay, I'm going to start all the way over here, and I see 5 times 100th. That means that I'm going to need to have a 5 2 places to the right of the decimal point, because that's the hundredths place. So next over from the hundredths place would be the tenths place, and I do see a number multiplied by 1/10. It is 2, so I'm going to write the 2 there. Next over from the tenths place, this is the ones place, so I'm looking for something multiplied by 1, and I see it. 3 would go in the ones place. Next over from the ones place would be the tens, and there aren't any tens, so I need to put a 0 where the tens would go. And next over from tens would be hundreds, and it is 4 times 100, so I need to put a 4 in the hundreds place. So you should have 403 and 25 hundredths. Okay, next one. Go ahead and press pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to start all the way at the end. I have 8 times 1/1000th. So that means that I'm going to need to have an 8 in the thousandths place, which is 3 over. So I'm going to put my 8 there. The next one over this way would be the hundredths. So I do see a number multiplied by 100th, and that's 3. So 3 times 100th. The next over from that would be the tenths place, and I see a 10, but I don't see 1/10. That means I need to put a 0 here. Next one over right here, this is the ones place, and I don't see anything being multiplied by 1, so I need to put a 0 there. And the next over from the ones place would be the tens place, and I do see 2 times 10, so a 2 would go there. So you should have 20 and 38 thousandths. All right, one more of these. Okay, so I'm going to start all the way over here. I see 1 times 1 over 1,000. That means in my thousandths place, I need to have a 1. Now the next over from the thousandths place is the hundredths place, and I don't see anything being multiplied by 1 over 100, so I'm going to put a 0 there. Next one over is the tenths place, and I do see 6 times 1/10, so I put a 6 there. Okay, here, this is the ones place. Nothing's being multiplied by 1. I put a 0. Next one over is the hundreds. Nothing's being multiplied by 100. I put the 0. I'm sorry, tens. Nothing's being multiplied by 10. I put a 0. Next one over, that's the hundreds. There's still nothing there. There's nothing being multiplied by 100, so 0. I do see the next one over 1,000. 7 is being multiplied by 1,000, so I put my 7 there and add in my comma. So you should have 7,601 thousandths. Okay, 4 more. We're almost there. In this last set, I am going to give you the words, and I want you to write the number. You're going to write the standard form. So when you see the words, press pause and then write the number for it. Here you go. Press play when you're ready. Okay, so I see 11, and that means I have the number 11 and then a decimal point right after that. And then I see the number 12, and it's 12 hundredths. So that means that my 2 needs to be in the hundredths place, which it would be if I just did that. So here's 11 and 12 hundredths. All right, next one. Press pause, write it out. Okay, first part I see 105 and, so I can write 105 just like that. the decimal point goes where my and is, 6 tenths. So that means I need this number 6 to be in the tenths place. It works out well, 105 and 6 tenths. Next, press pause, write it out. Okay, 9 and, so 9 decimal point, 33 thousandths. So I know this is 33, but this 3 should end up in the thousandths place, which is 3 places over. So in this one, you should have put a 0 in the tenths place so that you'd have 33 with this 3 in the thousandths place. Last one. Go ahead and write that out. Just play when you are ready. Okay, I see 21 and, so I'm going to write the number 21 with a decimal point after it because and, that's it. That's what that means. And then this says 4 hundredths. That means I need the number 4 to be in the hundredths place, which is 2 to the right of the decimal point. So the 4 would need to go there, and I can't just have this empty. I need to put a 0 there, so 21 and 4 hundredths. That was a lot of math today. Thanks for all your hard work. See you soon.